Here we are, two 4th Gen 4runners and a 2019 Toyota Tacoma on an overlanding trip through the canyons of British Columbia. Backcountry camping, off-roading, and some excellent camping meals were all on the menu. By chance and a stroke of luck, we found ourselves at one of the most magnificent sights I've personally ever seen in all of Canada. At first, we could only guess what this was and how it was created. Sure, it could be man-made, or it could have been the result of a landslide. Looking at some images on Google, it even looks like it could have been a meteor that hit the Earth. It's such a large crater that I couldn't legally fly my drone high enough to capture it all in one single frame. In fact, this is Horseshoe Bend along Bridge River. It was created by hydraulic mining during the Fraser River Gold Rush back in 1896. Between 1908 and 1914, over 31,000 ounces of gold were extracted from this area, and that's worth over $54 million today. The result is a bowl-shaped landscape with sheer rock on the side and an entire mini world at the base, with its own plants, trees, pond, and river. Absolutely magnificent.
Oh, somebody camped here. So guys, nice.
I mean, like, yes, it's right by the side of the road, but holy crap, that is beautiful.
Maybe if you roll over in the night.
Hey? Yeah, you don't want to pull off that.
Say they're like
That is amazing.
3 hours ahead of us.
You can just smell how long they're
We made a baked potato.
Their fire's still warm. Say they're like 2, 3 hours.
This is one of the most Did you guys copy deer on the road?
Roger that. Saw the deer. The red car bumped them out.
Where did they go?
Where that dust went.
Oh. I think they just jumped off the cliff. I'm not kidding. I think the deer just jumped off the cliff.
You see them?
Oh yeah, I see one of them.
Are they just like hanging out on the edge of the cliff there?
No, like the deer has fallen off the cliff.
Is he like dead?
It was sideways. That's so weird. Poor deer that literally just like jumped off the cliff. So the situation we have is we have 2 jerry cans of gas, and we calculated the amount of kilometers we need to travel versus how much gas we might need going without a gas station. However, our vehicle is consuming quite a bit more fuel than we originally calculated and thought. So we're gonna probably have to find a way to find more gas because we do have quite a few, 135 kilometers or so one way, and then another 135 on the way back without gas. And we're anticipating driving about 30 kilometers an hour maximum, I would say, seeing as how windy the roads will be and how rocky they will be as well. I don't know how rocky they will be, but I know that they're windy and we're gonna have to take it real slow.
Ah yes, gas problems. More of that to come, but for now, the route we were on happened to pass by a town. So we were headed out of our way on a detour to grab some gas for the next leg of the overlanding trip.
All right, we found gas. We found a gas station, had to come into town. It seems like there might be a little problem though, because the other vehicles put in the same amount of gas that we did. But ours showed at a half a tank and theirs did not. So either there's something wrong with the fuel gauge or there's something wrong with our fuel tank, which is also possible because there's a big dent in our gas tank now since we hit a rock. But that's okay, we'll keep going. Everything looks okay so far.
Alright, so no crisis yet. Back on track we go. Let's check if the ferry is open.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some excellent news.
Ferry's open?
The ferry is open. We are in business. We are resorting back to plan A.
Both ways, 18 on the roof.
That is fantastic news.
We were now truly in the canyons of British Columbia, and the views were simply epic.
Now that's a view, eh?
Oh yeah.
How do you like being the lead vehicle?
It's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Rachel really likes calling out the road markers. Which
Yeah.
Is funny, so.
Well, I mean, imagine if you don't have a radio,
No, yeah.
you're not calling out kilometers, people would be completely oblivious,
Nick
right?
took us up to Harrison East, and our radio almost ran out of batteries. Like, and it was so useful. And then we only had one thing of battery, and it ran out in the last 10 kilometers, and it was so scary.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Because we were used to all the communication, which was so handy.
Right, absolutely.
What was that last transmission? Someone's pulled over 28 up.
Holy cow, look at that.
What is? See these markers in the field? What is that? Is that like this alien?
Aliens, you said, Nick? So those markings in the field, Nick thinks it's alien crops.
Are they ancient aliens?
To better inspect the alien crop formation, I got out the drone. But as you can see here, the aliens didn't want us to see their secrets. So the alien dust devils decided to try their very best to crash the drone. I'd lost control, and Jordan wasn't here to save the drone if it crashed again. Mercifully, after some negotiation, the aliens finally decided to leave us alone, and I was able to capture some video of the landscape around us. And what amazing landscape it is. After taking a quick break, we headed onwards through some very interesting areas and towards the ferry.
The largest cattle ranch, I think, in BC is supposed to be up here pretty close by. Moo! So now we've seen bears, deer, and cows. You said you have low pressure on the tire?
Yeah. Hold on. Are you up here or where are you? Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pull right behind you.
Yes, we're pulled over to the left here. Can you just call out Resource Road that we're pulled over on the shoulder on the left side?
Yeah, I got a full blowout. I can hear the air leaking out.
10-4, no problem. We'll put your spare on.
Oh yeah. It's right here. There you go. It's a rock. Right there.
Okay, that's repairable.
So much for Kevlar tire.
That's exactly what we did.
Is it time to upgrade? I took a picture of that for the guy if you're like on the route, you can see.
Yeah. You could probably use that as a little stool to sit on while you do it.
Okay, so the patch is in.
Alright.
And give me a sec here.
Yeah.
Air. Did you check your air temperature?
Air temperature?
Not air temperature. You know what I mean.
The pressure? I didn't check it yet.
31, 32. Shit happens, but good thing is we're prepared and
Oh yeah.
everybody comes together and fixes shit, right?
100%.
Well, good teamwork.
So the real lesson here is that if you're going to get a puncture, make sure it's at a beautiful place like this. Jokes aside, tire repair kits are very useful. Tire flats are indeed one of the most common things that goes wrong when driving off the pavement. I don't know how a rock like that could have punctured a Kevlar lined tire, but oh well, c'est la vie. It only took about 10 minutes or so to get the tire patched up, and we were on our way once more. After a bit more driving, we ended up at yet another beautiful spot.
Oh wow, look at this view!
Indeed. Ooh, that is very nice. It's beautiful.
What do your elven eyes see?
What do you think of the road so far?
It's really cool. It's a little dusty. Got to keep sure that it's a little dusty. Got to make sure that we keep the windows closed. But it's nice and it's nice. It's an easy like drive. Like condition wise, like the road seems pretty easy to maneuver. Other than it being like dusty and dirty.
It's very Lion Kingsy.
Lion Kingsy. Simba. Everywhere the light touches is our kingdom.
But Dad, what about that shadowy place?
You must never go there, Simba.
That's Surrey. Where are you going? Don't fall off the cliff.
Fall off the cliff?
Don't fall off the cliff.
Well, there you have it, folks. Allison fell off the cliff. With nothing we could do to bring her back, we decided to keep driving towards the ferry. But before we get there, I have to say, that coastal off-road rear bumper looks pretty badass. Looks aside, it's also very functional and we bought it for a good reason. The large tire on the 4Runner, 285/70/17 or around 33 inches, simply does not fit under the truck where the spare tire usually goes. Apart from that, it's to have a jerry can mounted on the back for emergency gas if need be, and also carry 20 liters of water. Okay, I do have a few bones to pick with the bumper design, such as the swing arms not locking when you open them, so if you're on a hill, they'll just close. But this isn't a review for it. If you would like a review of the bumper, leave a comment below. As Allison mentioned, the road was dusty and extremely windy with some hairpin turns, so going was slow. We weren't really concerned too much about the time though because the ferry was running, right? I mean, the drive was a lot of fun. Towards the end here, we had our vehicles in 4 low and low gear and still having to use our brakes because of how steep it was. Excitement was now mounting as we got closer to our destination. I mean, it wasn't really a destination, it was a means to an end. We were taking the ferry to get across the water and explore some more. The landscape here was absolutely breathtaking, and the view near the ferry alone made the trip worth it. So finally, we had arrived at the ferry, something we were looking forward to all trip. We went from knowing it was closed to utter excitement of finding out that it was open to vehicles and that we would be able to cross. We were finally here.
So we just got to the ferry. It turns out it is closed. We're a little disappointed. Morale has hit a low spot, but we're gonna head back and find somewhere to camp. It is a long way back towards where we started off this morning, but that's kind of the only way, so we're just gonna push on and push forward.
It just really sucks when we specifically, like at the start of the road, there's a phone number that you're supposed to call to make sure that it's open. We called, specifically asked, is it open today? Because we knew it was closed before. It said it was closed. And she very easily said, oh yeah, it's open now, don't worry about it. It's open to vehicles. I asked if it's open to vehicles. She said, yeah. And now here we are, many kilometers, and there's no other way to cross this river other than this ferry. So now, I don't know, I honestly still don't know what we're doing. We're still trying to figure out which route to take, where to camp. There's really, like, we didn't find any places to camp along the way. So it's either drive back 4.5, 5 hours now, or I don't know. I don't know. There is another route that we had. there is another route that we had in mind that takes us to another mountain. We don't know if it's open to roads, open to vehicles right now either, or it's not. We have an in-reach that we're trying to reach a friend, well, Jordan, from, to see if he can help us find out if that mountain's open and passable from in vehicles right now. It's just so many unknowns right now, and we'll figure out where to camp overnight, and then figure out what we want to do tomorrow as well. Right now it's 5:30ish, and yeah. Anyways, that's our day. We're just turning around now, and it is what it is, right? It was still, I mean, it's a really, really beautiful place. I'm not mad or disappointed that we came. It's just annoying. That's good intel.
Jesse, thank you.
Yeah, just text him, thanks so much, amazing intel.
That is good intel. So it seems like 3 weeks ago.
Exactly what we needed.
Yeah, exactly. 3 weeks ago, people were clearing it. It should be clear. I think it should be passed. So we just arrived at this camp spot. Found this beautiful lake. How you doing, Dante? Dante's kind of sick of being in the car, isn't he? Looks like we're set up. Ryan is chopping up some wood with his...
I was using this rock to split the wood, and I split the rock in half. Did you see that? Did anyone see that? What the...
Wow. Nice. Rachel's gathering wood. Allison started a fire. Allison started the fire. Look at that. Good job, Allison.
Thank you. It looks like, well, it did look good. Now it looks pathetic. It looked great 5 seconds ago.
So, being bear aware where we are, we decided not to pitch our tent on the ground today. Instead, we'll be camping in the vehicle. So I've taken everything out of the car that doesn't have any traces of food and left it under the vehicle in case it rains, and then set up our bed, weirdly, but it's gonna work, inside the vehicle. And it'll work. It's just in case. I feel like if there's one grizzly bear in the world, it would probably want to live here because it's pretty cool. And if I was a bear, I definitely want to live here. What's for supper?
It is hot dogs. So feel free to come and grab some. Maybe we need some scissors to open them. We're having hot dogs.
In hindsight, so what if we couldn't stick to plan A? This backup campsite I had plotted on our map was pretty damn cool after all. The adventure continues, so join us next week for the season finale, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.